a tenured Fresno State professor who posted a atorm celebrating the death of former First Lady Barbara Bush shuttered her account and said she's now on leave from the college. Is a tenured English professor at Fresno State, which means her post as an professor at the college known for discovery, diversity, distinction is a permanent one. Jarrar, 39, born in the U.S., was raised in Kuwait and then returned to America as a teenager in 1991. She'd go on to earn numerous degrees and became a distinguished, if controversial, writer and outspoken critic of American policy in the Middle East and immigration, and frequently and audibly denounced racism, sexism, and imperialism. One Fresno English professor celebrated the death of Barbara Bush and began tweeting shortly after the death of former First Lady Barbara Bush was announced Tuesday night. The college professor did not hold back in her, which sparked outrage. On her website, she wrote, "I do not respond to about Barbara Bush," which appears to have been a tweet from 2016. She added, "My new reaction GIF for trolls. But access to the original pic is no longer available, at least during a general search." Barbara Bush was a generous and smart and amazing racist who, along with her husband, raised a war criminal. FCK outta here with your nice words. 2. The backlash and criticism was immediate, with calls for her to be fired from the college. Criticism came swiftly, and her words called hate speech. And many were angered when she tweeted out a telephone number which caused concerns in the medical community and elsewhere. A physician responded, "Your freedom of speech does not entitle you to have all these people spam an actual mental health crisis line." Her account Wednesday morning read she was on leave. The repercussions of her statements, despite Jarrar asserting that she could speak freely with fear of reprisal due to her stature as a tenured professor, may result in her no longer being with the college. Or at least based on her own about on not set to private, says she's on leave. There were no shortage of people demanding she be fired across social media platforms. Bush, the first Gulf War waged during the George H.W. Bush administration, and imperialism generally. Four. Fresno State addressed the tweets in its own statement on, and free speech advocates also speak out said that her comments were not reflective of the university's values, those made of a private citizen and not. Professor Jarrar's expressed personal views and commentary are obviously contrary to the core values of our university, which include respect and empathy for individuals with divergent points of view, and a sincere commitment to mutual understanding and progress, Castro said in the statement. Adam Steinbaugh, program officer for the Foundation for Individual Rights in Education, FIRE, a national civil liberties nonprofit dedicated to protecting student and faculty expression, said, Fresno State correctly acknowledges that errors were made as a private citizen. As such, and because they touched upon a matter of public concern, errors are unquestionably protected speech under the First Amendment, and Fresno State has no power to censor, punish, or terminate error for them. Steinbaugh wrote, "It's often said that the First Amendment doesn't protect a speaker from the consequences of his words. That's true to a certain extent. One who says something that offends others will often face consequences of some sort, whether it's cost a criticism from people he offended, loss of private sector job opportunities, loss of membership in voluntary associations, and so on." But the First Amendment places limits on what consequences a government actor may impose in response to speech. Wednesday, Jarrar set a personal to private and posted that she is currently officially on leave from Fresno State. Five. Jarrar is an award-winning author born in America but raised in the Middle East. Jarrar is a celebrated writer. Born in Chicago in 1978 to an Egyptian Greek mother and Palestinian father, Jarrar was raised in Kuwait and returned to the U.S. shortly after the First Gulf War in 1991. She studied creative writing at Sarah Lawrence College and earned her Master's of Arts degree in Middle Eastern Studies from the University of Texas at Austin and a Master's of Fine Arts in Creative Writing from the University of Michigan. According to her website, Jarrar's works includes novels, short stories and essays. Her books A Map of Home and Him, Me, Muhammad Ali are both award winners. The latter described by the La Times as this collection is not flowery or sentimental, like many personal stories about the immigrant experience or Middle Eastern family life can be. It's instead sharp and irreverent, sometimes even unapologetically crude. Jarrar has contributed work to BuzzFeed. Being a bad Muslim helped me get out of a bad marriage. Adultery was the last Muslim taboo I hadn't broken. When I finally did cheat, it helped me see that my marriage needed to end. Jarrar has a resume full of work for national and international publications including Salon and the New York Times among myriad others. Jarrar is a featured writer in the October 2017 book Nasty Women, Feminism, Resistance, and Revolution in Trump's America. According to her faculty page in the Fresno State website, Jarrar has received fellowships from the Lannan Foundation, the Civitella Rainieri Foundation, Hedgebrook, and Eastern Frontier, and in 2010 she was named one of the most gifted writers of Arab origin under the age of 40. She is the executive director of RAWI, the Radius of Arab American Writers. In a feature article about Jarrar, she explained None of my characters are rooted to a particular place, and that makes all of them marginalized, outsiders, or outcasts. That's what makes for good writing, she said. When you write from the point of view of someone who is not inside the norm. Answers a question about Trump during our Q&A portion of her book launch of Him, Me, Muhammad Ali at Asian American Writers Workshop event.